It has been a tough time to be Catholic in America the past decade or so. Yes or yes?
Yeah. Matthew Kelly is a celebrated author and speaker who also serves as a management consultant whose clients include the Department of Defense, General Electric, and dozens of Fortune 500 companies. He founded the Dynamic Catholic Institute to foster the engagement of Catholics in their own vibrant communities and with the world.
The world needs changing, and the truth is, there's no group of people in the world in a better position to change it than Catholics.
On this program, we've reported a lot about world events. We've certainly talked about the American context. It looks like in the long term, faith seems to be numerically on the decline. You know, what gives you the optimism to encourage us to look within and to reaffirm our own faith?
I guess I would say that I think on the short term, faith seems to be on the decline. But in the long term and in the long run, I think people will return to faith because they'll see the results of secularism. I think the more we look for political answers to spiritual problems, the more we will fail, the more we will have an emptiness within us and be hungering for the joy that really only comes through our spirituality, through the genius of Catholicism, through a personal encounter with God. And so I think in the long term, there'll be a return to religion, a return to spirituality, and a new age of people who discover and rediscover and appreciate the genius of Catholicism.
But in recent years, in the course of his work developing a confirmation program for young Catholics, Matthew was haunted by the realization that he himself needed to get to know Jesus better. And that drove him to write his latest book, Rediscover Jesus.
I began this quest to sort of dig in a little deeper and develop this personal relationship with Jesus on a deeper level than I had in the past. We talk a lot about having a personal relationship with God, a personal relationship with Jesus, but I think most people know that they don't have it. I think some people are afraid they don't have it or ashamed they don't have it, and people don't know how to get it. And so I wanted to give people sort of between two covers, here's a step-by-step guide to help you develop that type of relationship with Jesus.
Can you tell us something about these steps that the book is taking you through?
Yeah, you know, Jesus is walking down the road one day with these disciples, and he asked them two questions. The first question is, who do people say that I am? And the second question is, who do you say that I am? I call that the Jesus question, and ultimately we all have to answer that question for ourselves. One of the things I challenge the reader to do, sit down, take a blank pad, and write down everything you know about Jesus. I think most people will be surprised how quickly they run out of things to write down. And so we have been around him our whole lives, maybe. We have been hearing about Jesus our whole lives, but you know, knowing about somebody is not the same as knowing somebody. It's not a one-off encounter. It requires a daily discipline, you know, and that's why I broke the book up into 40 chapters, so that over 40 days, you know, a couple of pages a day, people could begin to have this encounter.
Given all the challenges we see in the world, how I guess does rediscovering Jesus help us, put us in this position to go out in the world and change it for the better?
These are the times where we strive for world peace.
You know, we are made for mission. We are made for meaning. We can't live without meaning. We can't live without mission. And Jesus wants to send us out on mission. But in order to be sent out on that mission, we actually have to connect with him and say, all right, Jesus, what mission do you want us to go out on? What mission do you want to send me out on individually? And so, you know, it's my hope that the book, you know, Rediscover Jesus, will help people to go out on that mission. The world needs changing, and the truth is, Catholics are in the best position to change the world, but we got to get our act together. We've got to get organized. We've got to mobilize so that we can really have an impact.
Reporting for Currents, I'm Konrad Aderer.